Four champions crowned yesterday as we open up the final day of World Cup Dresden. Park Ji-won continuing his pursuit of consecutive Crystal Globe championships by claiming another 1,000-meter gold yesterday, and the continuing emergence of one of the new stars, William D'Angelo of Canada, another 1,500-meter gold yesterday. Meanwhile, on the women's side, Kim Gilly cementing her lead on the women's side for her chase of the Crystal Globe. She claimed 1,000-meter gold. And Hannah Desmet slaying all comers, including Suzanne Schulting in her return, as Desmet won the 1,500-meter yesterday. We welcome you inside the Joy Next Arena in Dresden, Germany. Patrick Keane is with you. There on your screen is a look at today's schedule for the final day here in Dresden. Morning session, we'll get through the repechage of the 500 and the second running of the 1,000, and then we'll get through the B final of the women's 3,000-meter relay. There will be no B final of the men's 5,000-meter relay as a result of some penalties yesterday, with only one team then qualifying for the B final, so that will be scratched. There's a look at the afternoon session. We'll begin with the quarterfinals of the 500, go all the way through the A final, and the 1,000-meter B and A finals also later, and then the championship A finals of both the women's relay and the men's relay. So that's the schedule on the docket for today. We are glad you are with us wherever you are with us across North America and across the globe on the ISU YouTube channel. Our chief referee on the ice, Balaj Culver, Peter Worth, Zilo Michel are the assistants on the ice, and in the video booth, Alexander Valich and Monica Radkowska are up, and they had a busy day yesterday. So we will open things up with the first heats of the repechage on the women's side in the 500. And away we go on this final day in Dresden. 4 heats, 17 skaters will vie for a spot in the repechage semifinals. First and second, plus a maximum of 2 fastest thirds, will head on to the repechage semifinals. Song Jirai of China, Senya Adamenko of Ukraine, Yana Khan of Kazakhstan, and Tamara Zakharova from Slovakia. Those are the 4 in this opening repechage quarterfinal race. And Zakharova, who represents Slovakia, lives in Dresden. There's the bell, and up front it is Song for China with the lead. Yana Khan right now in second. They make the final turn and cross the line, and those two will move on to the repechage semis. So a look at Song Jiru, new to the Senior World Cup circuit for China this weekend. And a solid race. Again, the 500 meter, the shortest distance, 4.5 laps, so it's very quick, and the advantage to the inside position. If you can maintain it into that first corner, big advantage for the rest of the race, and Song did just that. So Song will protect the blades, head off the ice, but we'll see her right back on the ice here over the next 45 minutes or so for the repechage semis. And there are the results for this opening repechage quarterfinal heats. Again, a maximum of 2 third-place finishers. Fastest time will advance also to the repechage semis. That will hold true in the event there are no penalty advancements here, so we'll watch that as we move on. But right now, Adamenko, with that third-place time, will be kind of on the clock over the next few minutes. Second repechage quarterfinal heats. And we'll see Annabelle Green, who grew up in British Columbia. Her mom, a short track star for Canada, actually won a world championship in 1987. A couple of medals at the Olympics in Calgary in 98. Her dad is also an Olympian who represented Great Britain in short track. Annabelle Green now representing Great Britain in helmet 125, and she sprints ahead of Malika Yermak and grabs the first corner. Rika Kanai of Japan, Barbara Samolji from Hungary. Those are the 4 in this second repechage quarterfinal. And a beautiful beginning by Annabelle Green, 21 years of age. Actually, she took her mom's medals to show and tell in elementary school. She and her sister, when she was asked to talk about her parents and what they did for a living. There's the bell. Annabelle Green, a clear lead. Again, the top two from this repechage quarter will move on to the repechage semis as everybody vies for just a couple of spots back in the main bracket, the main draw. And so Annabelle Green, 44.37, is on to the repechage semis. And took care of this second repechage quarterfinal heat, all thanks to that quick burst off of her second position to win the corner. And no trouble the rest of the way for Annabelle Green. So Malika Yermak finishing second will also move on to the semifinals. And the 44.761 for Kanai right now is the second fastest of the third place finishers through the first two. So she right now is on the bubble. So we'll see 5 skaters here in the next heat. And that will include Tineke Den Dulk of Belgium, who initially began representing Netherlands and then converted over to represent Belgium a couple of years ago. She actually won a gold at the Euros as part of the Netherlands 3,000-meter relay team back in 2019. But now representing Belgium. Ki Kurikawa from Japan, Betty Musk from right here in Germany, Svea Roth also from Germany, and Samadi Melhus from Norway. Those are the 5 competitors. And Germany would like to have 1, if not 2, advance on to the repechage semi, so that will fall on the shoulders of Musk and Roth. There's a look at Svea right there in helmet 115. And onward in this third repechage quarterfinal of the 500. And a quick start by Kurikawa in helmet 64. And the Germans right now are 2 and 3 with Musk and Roth. Kurikawa in front. Musk still second. Now it's Den Dulk making a move for Belgium, fighting for that second spot. Here's the bell. And Den Dulk on the inside will get to that corner first and second position. Now can she hold it? Broke stride a bit, loses position, and Musk will get inside of her. And to the line, it will be Musk finishing second. Kurikawa will claim the heats, but you see the yellow box in the video review in the lower left of your screen. We'll see what happened in terms of Den Dulk losing stride. There might have been a little bit of connection between those two heading toward that far corner. Den Dulk right there did make the pass, and the potential incident was behind that finish of Kurikawa. So they will have a look right there. But Kurikawa should be safely through. We are working with a referees liaison over in Dresden this weekend. Our great thanks to Kim So-hee, who is transferring whatever information we have as far as video reviews, what they are looking at. And as we get a look at the official results, there are no penalties assessed. And so it will be Kurikawa and Musk. So one of the 2 German skaters will get through to the repechage semifinals. Again, quick turnaround. Those will be within the next probably 30 to 45 minutes, depending on ice resurfacing. And now we move to the last of the women's repechage quarterfinals. Liu Wanyu, new to the Senior World Cup circuit for China. Esther Toth, the 19-year-old from Hungary, World Junior bronze medalist last year as part of the Hungarian relay team. Miroslava Selyakova from Ukraine. And Katarina Biric from Croatia. She'll turn 27 next week. So here we go, the final couple of spots on the line in the repechage semifinals. And the third place time to beat, the slowest of the two that are still in line to advance, 44.761 for Rika Kanai of Japan. Toth breaking out early. Liu tried for the inside pass, couldn't get it, but in qualifying position. She'll try again here and will be successful this time. And she goes down and she takes Toth with her. And that puts Buric out front. Selyakova hears the bell and suddenly she's in second position. That will be reviewed as well. So on the final lap, and here is Katarina Buric. Navigates the corner. And the veteran who's been on the World Cup circuit and the international stage for about the last 8 years, Buric will capitalize on a little crash out in front of her, taking to the first two competitors, and she'll move through. And we'll take a look. It involved Liu Wanyu from China right here in this corner. Seemed to have established position, but then they kind of strayed a little bit wide, and Esther Toth caught her, and they both went down. So that will be reviewed. We'll see if there will be a penalty assessed and an advancement. Buric finishing first unofficially. Selyakova of Ukraine, who now resides in Poland, finishing second. And there's a look at Balazkova. Quite a busy day at the monitor yesterday. Several reviews in that afternoon session. I mean, what an exciting session it was. Great to see Suzanne Schultz and Kim Bhutan both reaching A finals yesterday. Schultz earned the bronze in the 1500. Bhutan finished fifth in the A final of the 1000. But Hannah Desmet was outstanding. Kim Gilly, a phenomenal last lap move to win the 1000 on the women's side. And then on the men's side, boy, we just continue to see the growth and the emergence of William D'Angelo of Canada. Another 1,500-meter gold for him. And Park Ji-won is back on top of the Crystal Globe standings as he won the 1000. Dubois finished third. So Park Ji-won jumps back on top as he tries to defend. And here's a look at the official results. There is a penalty on Liu Wanyu of China that will advance Esther Toth as well. So Buric, Selyakova, and Toth will advance on to the repechage semis. So here's what they saw, failure to give way. So the penalty assessed right there against Liu Wanyu. And that will send Toth as well to the repechage semis. So that's it for the women's repechage quarters. Now we'll jump straight to the men. We will see 8 heats. There are 40 skaters vying for a spot in the repechage semifinals. By the way, just do a little housekeeping. Adamenko is the only third-place finisher by time to advance the repechage semis. So Rika Kanai eliminated. First of 8 heats in the men's repechage quarters. Li Kun, 19-year-old from China. As a matter of fact, 3 teenagers in this race. Mark Zizmati of Hungary is 18. Daniel Yoon of the United States out of the Potomac Speed Skating Club in Maryland. He's in helmet 67. He's also 18. So for the men's repechage quarters, only first place will guarantee be advanced at a maximum of 2 seconds moving on to the repechage semis. So should see a lot more aggression at the front because you need to win to advance to guarantee yourself a spot in the repechage semis. Kuhn trying to make a move on Lee, last corner, and it will be Lee getting there. So Lee takes down the race. Yoon second, Enzo Proust for third. And so we will see Li Kun move through to the repechage semifinals. And there's a look at Li Kun. Part of a couple of relay medals at the Four Continents a couple of months ago. World Junior bronze medalist last year at this distance in the 500. And you see right there as Negrate was a no-show at the line. He was scheduled to be in that race. But Daniel Yoon finishing second for the U.S. Again, there are 8 heats. They'll take a maximum of 2 fastest thirds. So 7 more heats to go. It's going to be a lot of nervous moments for Daniel Yoon to see if that time will hold up. Second repechage quarter there is Robin Bendig, the 23-year-old from Germany. Trying to book a slot in the repechage semifinals. There's Linus August Risnes from Norway. Marcus Howard of the United States. Sellier, look at the big name in this repechage quarter. Represented France back in 2019. Jumped over to the Poland national team in 2021. There's a look at Marcus Howard. Native of Federal Way, Washington. He was part of a gold medal yesterday in the mixed relay for the United States. What an electric win that was. And there's Danilo Fedorenko. So that is the field in the repechage quarterfinal. The time for Yoon, by the way, if you're following along for the fastest seconds, 41.584 officially. But again, assuming no advancements, that's a big assumption. Only 2 of the fastest second-place finishers will move on, so a long way to wait to see if that time and some clean racing Yoon will need as well will hold up. Inside position for Bendig for Germany. Quick start by Marcus Howard of the United States. He was in middle position, blazes ahead, and now look at him go. He knows that he doesn't want to sit on the fence as far as time goes and trying to command this race right from the gun. And this is a monster lead for Howard. Sellier, he has some good speed, but he's got a lot of ground to make up here. Lap and a half left. Sellier in second, Fedorenko third. But this is all Marcus Howard. And if he can handle 2 more corners, he'll be through to the rep semis. Sellier making a push, but the start by Marcus Howard got it done. That was a brilliant beginning by Marcus Howard. 40.99 unofficially. Sellier 41 low, and that is almost a half second faster than Daniel Yoon already. But how about the start by Marcus Howard, getting it done easily. Jumped into the international scene for his debut back at the World Championships 3 years ago. That was his first taste of senior level competition. Howard still very young, only 20. He was a World Junior silver medalist in the 500 meter just last year, so certainly ample power for Howard. He showed it right off the line. 40.977. That's over a half second faster than the winning time of Lee Kuhn in the opening heat. So a good moment for Howard. We will see him coming up within the next 30 to 45 minutes. And the start list for the rep quarter number 3. Daniel Tieberts of Hungary, Lucas Wareham from Australia, Martinic from Croatia, Asen Girev from Bulgaria, and Kwaksis Fung from Hong Kong. Followed his older brother into short track. And there he is right there. And again, only the winner out of this repechage quarter will book a spots in the rep semis. And called off the line. Artur Kozlowski, the starter for the men's here this weekend in Dresden. Clean start, race to the corner, and Tibors wins it. And now we'll see if he can hang on to the lead. 4.5 lap, 500-meter race. Tibors, Martinich, and then Wareham, the top three. Wareham actually kind of late arrival into this sport. Started on the ice at short track when he was 14 years of age. He's 21 now. And Wareham still sitting third. There's the bell for Tibors. Martinich, little territory to cover up here. He's in second place, and he's not going to get there. Tibors handles that last corner. Wareham went down with about a lap to go, and Tibors will win the Repechage quarter. So there's Tibors, 23 years of age. Been on a World Cup podium 4 times in his career, all due to relays. Took bronze in the men's 5,000-meter relay here in Dresden last year. That was a much different Hungarian relay team than it is now, though. The Liu brothers representing China. There's Wareham, who went down with a couple laps to go. You see they are reviewing a moment in that race. Didn't see exactly how or why Wareham went down or what that involved. We'll see if this wide shot gives us a better look. There's Tibors in front, Martinich in second. And there you see it on the right side of your screen. Looked like Austin Gurov came up and made some contact looking for a pass on the inside against Lucas Wareham, and that's exactly what happened. So Gurov the penalty, but that will have no bearing on any kind of advancements to the rep semis, since that was further back in a battle for third place. So Tibors, 41.7 moves on, and the time for Martinich unlikely to hold up in second place, 41.985. And there's the official explanation, failure to give way with the penalty charge against Austin Gurov. So they will address the track in a couple of spots quickly and get ready for the 4th Repechage quarterfinal. Theo Collins, representing Great Britain, is in this race, 20 years of age. Hiroki Yokoyama from Japan, and there's a look at Stefan Alexander Kamerjev, the 18-year-old from Bulgaria. Zhang Jinzi inside position for China, but does not get to the first corner. Kamerjev does. And the chase is on for the Bulgarian here in this 500-meter race. Collins 4th. And Leontenko of Ukraine in the back of the pack. And Kamerjev goes down out of that corner. Now it's Zhang in the lead, and Yokoyama looks for the inside pass. 1 lap to go. Yokoyama and Zhang are broken free. And we will hear the bell. Final full lap. Yokoyama and Zhang 1-2. And again, only the winner guaranteed a spot in the rep semis. And it will be Yokoyama. So Kamerjev went down when he was leading the race with a couple laps to go, and that opened up the door for Yokoyama. And he's had a pretty good weekend here in Dresden, so he'll move through. And we'll take a look and see what happened with number 99, Kamerjev, right there, spinning out of that corner. This was the moment of the big pass for Yokoyama. And then it holds off Zhang the rest of the way. So we will see Hiroki Yokoyama one more time. He'll turn 30 years old next week. World Championships bronze medalist for Japan 6 years ago in the 5,000-meter relay. And that 42 low for Zhang will not nearly be good enough, so his 500-meter pursuit is done. 4 more heats remain in the Repechage quarterfinals. And the skaters are on the ice. Here are the 5 we will see in this next one. Lucas McDonald, the 22-year-old, originally from Canada, now represents New Zealand. There is Nico Anderman. We'll see his brother Dominic later on today. And Zaksabayev from Kazakhstan, inside position, helmet 124. Gleb Repechage, the youngster from Kazakhstan, 151. And Toprak Eroglu, representing Turkey. So those are the 5. And the race to the first corner is handled by Zaksabayev. And the race is on. And the 2 skaters from Kazakhstan are off 1 and 2, Zaksabayev and Repechage. Zaksabayev, part of a bronze medal relay team for Kazakhstan in Montreal earlier this year in the 5,000-meter relay. There's the bell. And the 2 skaters from Kazakhstan still 1-2, but first is what matters here. And it's Zaksabayev around the corner. Tight race. He will win it. Repechage, his teammate, finishing second, 41.7 for Repechage. And that is not going to be in contention to move through. So Zaksabayev will head on to the Repechage semifinals, the result of winning his heats. 3 more to go. And no advancements so far out of these first 5 rep quarterfinals. So right now, Daniel Yoon, he is on the bubble, but still alive at 41.584. Selye, the faster second place time, so he's in better position here at this stage. 41.122 for Selye. 3 more to go to get Daniel Yoon. Would be the potential last qualifier by time. They're only taking a maximum of 2 as we get a look at the start list for heat number 6. Zhang Tianyi, 19-year-old from Beijing. There's a look at Michael Nowinski, world junior gold medalist at this 500-meter distance last year. He'll be coming out of the outside position, position 5, so we'll watch him. He knows how important it is to get to that first corner. It's a tough ask from his starting position. We'll see if he can get there because he is high quality. And there's the start, and he's trying. He'll pass a couple and get up to third. And how about that little inside move right there by Nowinski? What a move. And Nowinski, just like that, is out in front. And Nowinski, though, loses his footing coming out of the corner and slides into the pads standing up. So he's out. And it is Zhang Tianyi still in front. Kyle Ross, Waddell of Great Britain right now is seconds. Tough break for Nowinski. Worked very hard to get from 5th to 3rd, 3rd to 1st, but then lost it out of a corner. We only have 2 active skaters remaining on the ice, and it's going to be Zhang Tianyi who will take it down, and that time by Ross Waddell of 41.5. That's going to be awfully close as they break that time down officially. The time on the screen, 41.53 unofficial. And Daniel Yoon is 41.58. So we'll see how that gets adjusted and see if Yoon is still alive with a couple more heats to go. Well, let's see what happened with Nowinski. I mean, right there, just caught an edge and went down. He was in perfect position after working very, very hard to get to that slot. And fans enjoying themselves as we get ready for the last couple of Repechage quarterfinal races. And there are the results, and the adjusted time for Ross Waddell, 41.505, will get inside Daniel Yunes. That will knock him off. Zhang Tianyi, 41.238, so he's moving through to the rep semis. So a couple more heats to go, and now as far as time goes, it is Ross Waddell on the bubble. Selye still in pretty good shape. Donchev, Kolnich, Pak, Wolf, and Yang Chengrui from Hong Kong. Those are the five in this next to last Repechage quarterfinal heat. Now taking care of not only the ice, but also the pads where Nowinski just wiped out in that previous race. And a quick second whistle. Skaters will come back and restart. And they have called a false starts. It's Tobias Wolf from Austria. Puts the blades cover on and off he goes. False starts on Wolf. So 4 remain for 1 spot in this Repechage quarter. Quick start by Martin Kolnich of Croatia. Out front early, Ivan Donchev, the 18-year-old from Bulgaria, sitting second. Then it's Yang and then Pak from Singapore. But in the clear is Kolnich. Only first advances will follow Donchev's time as you hear the bell in the background. And 41.505 is the second place time that is on the fence right now. And Ross Waddell will be safe and needing one more heat to go by for him to advance as well as Kolnich takes down this Repechage quarterfinal. The older statesman by really as many as 10 years in that field. Martin Kolnich of Croatia. Pak, 17 years of age. Kolnich, 27. And the results from the 7th Repechage quarterfinal heats are official. There you see Wolf penalized with the false starts. And Donchev's time not good enough. So one more heat to go. Selye sitting in very good position for one of those fastest second place times. They're only advancing 2 of those. And the one right now on the verge is Kyle Ross Waddell of Great Britain, 41.505. So here are the competitors in the last quarterfinal heat. The 3-time Olympian Sébastien Lepep from France. Won a World Junior Gold in a 3,000 relay 13 years ago. That's how long he's been around. There is Lukas Kovac of Germany, the last native German skater to try and move through to the rep semis here for the men in the 500. Fauskas, Vadam, and Philippe Daudelin of Canada. Those are the 5. Yeah, Lepep actually won a bronze medal in Dresden in the 1,000 meter 5 years ago back in 2019. One of his 2 individual World Cup medals. He's in second position right now behind Repechage. Dresden in third position for Canada. And there's the move by Lepechage, but he could not gather himself and had the pass, lost it, now falls all the way back to third. There's the bell. It's Fajkas in the lead. Dresden in second. Lepechage will make one last shot, some contact. He stands up and he's out of the race. And it'll be Repechage taking it down. Dresden finishing second at 41.51. And again, they'll need to readjust that time to see because Ross Waddell 41.505. We'll see what the official time is. That could perhaps knock Ross Waddell out. But Repechage from the Czech Republic will get through. They will take a look at a video replay involving Lepechage and I believe Dresden. But that was at a battle for second position. That's the yellow box you see in the lower left-hand corner. So Fajkas safely through. So for Kyle Ross Waddell of Great Britain, kind of sitting right now on the edge of his seat, he is anxious to see the official results on penalties, but more so time. There, see a little bump with Dresden and Lepechage. Because Ross Waddell right now is very, very close to moving through if things break right here in the next minute or two when these results get flashed up. Tapping, though, of the monitor is never a good sign in terms of a penalty-free race. And again, the issue of the incident right there between Lepechage and Dresden was vying for seconds in that race. And that will have no impact on Repechage because we do not imagine. He was free and clear. So here are the results coming in. And Lepechage will get advanced as Dresden does earn the penalty. So Fajkas is through, Lepechage is in. And because he advances, that's going to knock Kyle Ross Waddell out of the rep semifinals, which means Sellier will be the only fastest second place skater moving through. So here's a look at the penalty. Lane change right there for Dresden has certainly impeded Lepechage and ended his race, but the 3-time Olympian from France will get a mulligan. We will see him moving on to the rep semis coming up in the next 45 minutes or so. So the pads open, Zamboni is out, and that's it for the Repechage 500s for today. When we come back after the resurfacing delay, it'll be the Repechage quarters for the women and the men 1,000 meters. That'll be scheduled about 15 minutes from now. So stay tuned. You're watching coverage of ISU World Cup Dresden. Back in 15 minutes. Skaters back on the ice. Ice has been resurfaced, and we resume with the repechage 1,000 meter on the women's side. Continuing to open up day 3 in Dresden. We'll have 18 skaters across 3 heats on the women's repechage quarters. First place will automatically move on to the rep semis, and a maximum of 3 second place finishers here in these 3 heats. And coming up in this first heat, actually we now have 17 skaters as one has dropped out. Eunice Lee of the United States was scheduled to be in this opening heat. She is not listed here, nor is she listed in the next 2, so that appears to be the skater who has dropped out. So 17 skaters across 3 heats, and there's a look at Song Yifei inside position, helmet 124 for China. And now Jan Haupel, the starter on the women's side, calls them off the line. And away we go in the first repechage quarter of the 1,000 meter 9-lap race. Song of China, Mireille Nakashima of Japan, Svetlana Repechage from Ukraine, Hanna Sokolowska from Poland, and Hedvig Hilde of Norway, who was a long track speed skater up until 2017 before she converted over to short track. Sokolowska, a hard crash into the pad, so she's out of this one. And 4 skaters remain on the lead lap. It is Repechage out front, 19 years of age. A couple of World Cup appearances on the senior circuit last year, and a second skater went down. I believe that was Hilde. And now Song bypasses Repechage for the lead, and just 3 skaters remain on the lead lap. And Song with a big advantage. Repechage second, Nakashima third. And the way this race has gone, if Song remains on her blades, she'll get a pass into the repechage semis. And you see it's kind of going about 80% around those corners. Doesn't need to do anything unnecessary here. The lead is too big to overcome. And here is Song around that last corner. And Song Yifei will move on to the repechage semifinals. Sokolowska, Hilde crashed out at various moments in that race. And a fairly straightforward win for Song Yifei. So there's the winner of the repechage quarterfinal in the 1,000. And again, if there are no advancements be a penalty, every second place finisher will move on as well. So that was why it was key to see who finished second in that opening race. Because again, if there are no penalties and no advancements, there will be continued racing for them. So those 2 that remain on their skates, Repechage and Nakashima, battling it out for second place. And here are the results from the opening quarterfinal. And Nakashima did beat out Repechage, so 134.255 her time. So 2 more repechage quarters to go. And here's a look at the start list for the second repechage quarter. Gwendolyn Daudet's inside position from France. 6 skaters in this race. Holly Hoyland of Great Britain. Didi van Oorschot from the Netherlands. The second contender from France, Chloe Olivier. Olivier just 19 years of age. Marina Yamada from Japan and Medina Zambusanova from Kazakhstan. There's Daudet inside position for the French Olympian. So to the first corner, Van Oerschaut, nice little move to get right up by the leaders going into the first full lap. Busanova of Kazakhstan sprints forward, grabs the lead. Couple of skaters already go down. We have a review in progress as two skaters go down. That's Van Oerschaut and Olivier. Busanova still in front. Daudet's and Hoyland second and third. Again, only the winner is guaranteed a spot. All three second-place finishers would move to the rep semis if there are no advancements, and we'll get a review from an incident earlier in this race. Daudet swings to the lead. Busanova now is second, still Hoyland third, then Yamana. So those are the four on the lead lap, 3 laps to go. Still Gwendolyn Daudet. Busanova steadies herself, looking for the right time to make a pass if she can. There is the bell. We're into the final lap, and it is still Gwendolyn Daudet. And looking in control, and it will be Daudet to the line, and she'll move through to the repechage semifinals. Busanova 131.97, unofficially finishing second. And again, they'll take a look at the Van Oerschaut-Olivier connection early in that race. And there's the Van Oerschaut kind of sliding down there, and looked like she may have taken Olivier down with her. But that was back in the pack. So Daudet will move on to the repechage semifinals. Again, you look at the schedule of events, at least for the rest of this morning session. After the men's repechage quarters of the 1,000, we'll come back with the repechage semis and the 500 for the men and the women. And we'll come back after that with the repechage semis at this distance. And then only one relay we will have in the morning session. Generally 2, but the men's 5,000 meter relay, I'm told that the B final has been canceled because there would have been only one team, Kazakhstan, in the race. So that apparently has been canceled. No need to run it with only Kazakhstan qualifying. So the one relay we will have in this morning session will be the B final of the women's 3,000. And that will feature only 3 teams, Italy, Hungary, and China. So that's how things look over the next hour and a half of this morning session in Dresden. And there you see, Olivier tripped up as Van Oerschaut slid across, cut across the ice, and Olivier at the back of the pack could not avoid contact, upended. So as a result, no penalty there, no time for Van Oerschaut. Olivier did finish the race, but about a half minute behind. Daudet will win it. Busanova gets a reprieve because there is no penalty, so Busanova could likely advance the repechage semis if things work out here in the last of the repechage quarters for the women. Inside position for Dubrova. 2 skaters from Kazakhstan, Tikhanova, Volkovitskaya. And there is Kunterzuski from Germany. Trying to move on. She's in position 5. A good break. And gives herself a shot now. Settling in. 3rd position for Kunterzuski as we go down the back straight. Diana Mikhailicek from Ukraine. Rebecca Slezay-Nemets, the other contenders in this one. Dubrova right now in front. Tikhanova second. And one skater goes down back behind the pack as Dubrova comes down the straight with 6 to go. It was Kunterzuski who went down about a lap ago. So Dubrova, who now resides in Poland, the Olympian, gives the lead up. And now with a couple of 4 laps to go, it is Tikhanova out front. Still saying Nemeth kind of weaving through. She's up to third now. And the two skaters from Kazakhstan, Tsikhanova, Volkovskaya 1-2. Dubrova shaking back to fourth. And still saying Nemeth now continues to climb the rungs of the ladder up into second position here. Still a lot of time. There's the bell. And she'll look for one more pass if she can find a little bit of an unsteady turn by Tsikhanova. Still saying Nemeth, though, will not have the angle and the time to recover, so she will finish second. Tsikhanova will win this repechage quarterfinal. And still saying Nemeth with that second place finish. We should see her on the rep semis as well. They will take a look at that moment in that race, but won't have any bearing on any advancements out of this repechage quarter. So the win to Tsikhanova. And still saying Nemeth very likely to move through to the rep semis as well. And again, we'll have those for you probably in the next, I'd imagine, 35, 40 minutes. We'll have 6 heats on the men's side in the rep quarters. And one more look at the video monitor for Balachkova. And having a look toward the back of your screen, I believe, is what they're looking at here, there, and that chase for third, the attempted pass on the inside. That's, see, let's say Nemeth. And the German Kunterzuski. So an anxious moment for Silasay Nemeth. If she is the one looked at for a potential penalty, then she'd be knocked out. She's in qualifying position right now, unofficially finishing second in the race. But the matter is what they saw, if anything, that would warrant any kind of penalty. And the results, penalty to Silasay Nemeth. So that will elevate Volkovskaya from Kazakhstan from third to second, and she will become a time qualifier for the repechage semis. We'll see what they saw. Silasay Nemeth failure to give way against the German skater right there. Kunterzuski spilled her off, and Silasay Nemeth unofficially finished second, draws the penalty, and there will be no advance for her. So now we'll get to the first of 6 repechage quarter heats for the men at the 1,000-meter distance. 34 skaters vying for a spot in the repechage semis. Only the winner guaranteed a spot. And then a maximum of 4 fastest second-place finishes would move on as well. We'll see Metahan, Atan, Nathan Thomas, Etienne Bastier, Morozov from Ukraine, Propfer from Germany, and the Olympian from Italy, Andrea Casanelli. Who won a couple of Olympic medals in 2 different relays, the men's relay and the mixed relay in Beijing. Casanelli toward the back of the pack in the blue uniform, now gliding up toward third. So it is Atan in the 76 helmet. There goes Nathan Thomas. Casanelli fourth, Morozov fifth. Bastier still in contention in third. Nathan Thomas, who was brought up in Canada and began representing Poland thanks to connections with his mom. Started repping Poland 2 years ago. Thomas and Atan, good little battle. And there's the repass by Atan. Casanelli right in the mix. Up into second. The bell lap is coming. And it's Atan in front, Casanelli second. And Bastier third. And Casanelli goes for the inside pass, can't get through. And then a little bump with Bastier. That will be examined, and it'll be Metahan Atan who will win the repechage quarterfinal heat. They'll take a look at some jostling between Casanelli and Bastier into that final lap. It looks like Atan will move through. So there's the repass. Casanelli kind of bowling his way into second position. There's some contact, Atan and Casanelli, and then Casanelli against Bastier. So we'll see how they take a look at this one. It's a pretty good battle coming into that last corner. But a little bit of a brush from Atan as well. We'll see how they take a look. But a potential penalty involving Casanelli against Atan. Opportunity for a couple of autographs. Clemens Fropfer. There we go. There's a familiar face, Vilma Boomstra, former short track coach for the United States, now with Kazakhstan. There's Stephen Goff, actually replaced Boomstra with Team USA. Tell you what, looking ahead, this is the 1,000-meter repechage, trying to get back to the main draw, and we see no penalty assessed. So Atan will win it. Thomas finishes second. But you get back into the main draw. But on the women's side, Kim Gilly is in this 1,000. Kristen Santos Griswold is in this 1,000. Hannah de Smet is in this 1,000. And Suzanne Schulten as well. And shared responsibility involving both Casanelli and Atan for that little bump right there. And Bastier, unfortunately, kind of ran up into it. But on the men's side in the 1,000 as well, the second running, the top four in the Crystal Globe are all in the 1,000 later on today. Dubois, Park, Danjano, and Kim Gun-woo. Star list for the second repechage quarterfinal: Wesley Park, Niall Tracy, Sejpal, Varklis, and Farrell Tracy, the oldest of the Tracy brothers, two-time Olympian for Great Britain. So Wesley Park inside position for Team USA, and helmet 81 will see his older brother Caleb a couple of races from now. He is also coming through the repechage, trying to get into the repechage semis. Niall Tracy right now in front. Wesley Park right behind him in second position, and then Sejpal. Varklis, we talked a little bit about him yesterday, representing Switzerland. Part-time photographer, and on his X handle he said kind of a part-time hopeful professional speed skater. And he right now is toward the back. He's in fourth position. And the lead belongs to Niall Tracy. Oh, and some contact there involving Tracy and Park, but both stay on their blades. So the two Tracy brothers, two of the three are in this one, and right now it's Niall in front. Farrell still behind him on the chase in third. 2 laps to go. Still Niall Tracy. And now Wesley Park for the U.S. is up in a second position. They hear the bell. Still Niall Tracy in front. Farrell Tracy is back to fourth. And it'll be Niall Tracy claiming this repechage quarterfinal. Wesley Park of the U.S. finishing second. And again, they will take every second place. Well, I take that back. 4 of the 6 second place finishers, if there are no penalty advancements, they would drop that number back. So for now, Wesley Park is in qualified position, but he'll need to hold his breath over the next 10 minutes or so to see if he moves through. So that heat featuring the Tracy brothers. Meanwhile, Wesley Park of the U.S. will watch his brother race 2 heats from now. And And the results from the second heat. Niall Tracy wins it. Park right now in line to move through. Farrell Tracy finishes 5th, and Verklis of Switzerland a 4th place finish. Six heats total. This is number 3 coming up. And we will see Jonathan So from the United States inside position here in this third rep quarterfinal. Maricic, Galikmetov, Lou Maximov, and Zirk from Norway. Maricic representing Bosnia and Herzegovina, but he actually trains in France. Galikmetov, the Olympian for Kazakhstan. Couple of individual podiums for Galikmetov in his World Cup career. And there's Jonathan So for the U.S. So they get off the line, clean starts, and rep quarter number 3. So watch Galikmetov in this one. He would probably have the best credentials of anyone in this race. Liu Zhanzhu of Hong Kong in that gold helmet. He's in second position right now. Maximov of Bulgaria is 17 years old. He's in third position. So right now 4th, and now up to 3rd is Jonathan So. And down goes Liu, spinning out. So Jonathan So right now in second position for the U.S., trailing only Galikmetov. Approaching 2 laps to go. Maricic of Bosnia and Herzegovina right now in 3rd, and he's in contention here. He'll need to make one pass to give himself a shot to advance. And the bell rings for Galikmetov. So is still in second position. A little adjustment of the glasses there, falling down his face a bit. And he will still get to the line in second, barely ahead of Maricic. And Galikmetov, your unofficial winner. Showing a photo finish for that key second position, but it clearly looked like Jonathan So of the U.S. did get up for it. And there's the wipeout for Liu Zhanzhu. That opened things up for Jonathan So pretty easily to get up in a second position. And yeah, there's the stretch. Looked like So did get there. Galikmetov knows the result. He's in. And there is the stretch. Oh, and look at that, a dead heat. So Maricic and So both hit the line at the exact same time. That's hard to do. 127, 195 for each. Jonathan So and Tariq Maricic. Good effort. Hey, look at that. Nice rally by Tariq right there. He got up in a contention with about a lap and a half to go, and then that full stretch from his big body got him a dead heat for second. That's important. Heat number 4 of 6. 6 skaters called to the line. Includes Caleb Park. We just saw his brother Wesley Park a moment ago, and Wesley right now is in qualifying position with his second place finish to Niall Tracy. Tristan Navarro of France inside position, races to the corner, and he will grab it. Frederick Pedersen of Norway. Alejandro Rivero Marschalk from Belgium. Germany has Rafael Schlosserek in this race, and Turkey's Mohamed Bozdag. Those are the 6. So it's Bozdag out front of Navarro. Park of the U.S. right now 4th. And down goes Bozek out of that corner, so it's Pedersen now in front for Norway, and Caleb Park for the U.S. now second in helmet 72. They will review that Bozek exit a moment ago. Still, it's Pedersen. Park pushed back to fourth. There's the pass by Navarro, but it's tight up top. And it's Rivera Marshak right now in front. Navarro had an issue on that back straight a lap prior, just kind of pulled up in the race. And there's the bell, and there goes Caleb Park of the United States. Blitzing past Rivera Marshak. They'll take a look at two different incidents in this race, but there's Caleb Park for the U.S. The older brother to Wesley winning his Repechage quarterfinal. Rivera Marshak finishing second. So a couple of things to look at in this race. We saw Mohamed Bozdag go down fairly early. There's Bozdag right now grabbing the lead a couple laps into it. Working with Navarro right here into that corner. Arm perhaps extended a bit by Navarro. Contact. And then you see right there, Tristan Navarro just kind of pulled up in the middle of that back straight. Not sure if it was a physical issue or something else. And there's the finish for Caleb Park in the U.S. So the two yellow boxes indicating two separate reviews of instances in this race. So taking a look at a couple of potential infractions involving Navarro in the 107. Right there with Bozdag. And then again later on with Pedersen. And now we'll watch Navarro in the 107. There's some contact. Kept his balance, but right there is where Navarro kind of pulled up. So I don't know if that was in deference to the contact and a potential penalty, or if something physical had happened with Navarro. There, I see him kind of come around the corner. Take another stride or two, and then he'll kind of like rise up and almost concede the rest of the race. So the communication from the ice, Balance Culver up into the booth. Really going back and forth, taking a look at those two incidents. Yeah, it's an early morning, right? I feel you. I feel that yawn. Yeah, long days, long nights, travel to get here to Germany. A couple of members of the Turkish delegation. So a lengthy review. And again, this could be a couple of different penalties perhaps against Navarro. That might have been the reason why he pulled up. He might have known he was going to be part of this infraction maybe a couple of times. And if he does get two separate penalties, that would be a yellow card assessed to Tristan Navarro. So we'll wait and see what the determination is. So we will wait on the official results and the determination by Balázs Kóver right there, but that could be the reason for the lengthy delay here. We've seen a couple of instances over the course of this World Cup season where one skater did receive two yellows in the same race, and that is now officially the call. So Tristan Navarro gets a yellow card for two separate penalties, and you see the ADV next to Bozak and Pedersen, so they will both be advanced into the Repechage semifinals as a result. So Caleb Park gets the automatic advancement by winning the race. Now we'll take a look at the 2 infractions on Tristan Navarro in helmet 107. There is the first one going against Navarro. That spilled Bozdag into the pads. And here will be the second for Navarro in 107 against Pedersen. And coming out of that little contact, you see Navarro almost immediately rise up, and that's probably the reason why, because he really didn't show any effort the rest of the race, and there were still several laps left. I mean, he might have known inside his mind that, hey, that's probably 2 on me. So pull off the throttle. So now we'll move on to the 5th of 6 Repechage quarterfinals. Adrien Degueterre of Belgium will have inside position here. Peter Repechage of Great Britain will be in the outside position. Li Jinyu of China, Paweł Adamski of Poland, Ukraine's Kohelko, and Furkan Akar of Turkey, who was actually the opening ceremony flag bearer in Beijing as the first short tracker ever to represent Turkey in a Winter Olympic Games. He is in helmet 31. So those are the 6 in this Repechage quarter. Degueterre and Lee, and then it's Akar in 3rd position. I think it will only take the winner, and now with the 2 advancements due to those 2 Navarro penalties in the previous race, that really shrinks down the opportunities for the fastest second place finishers to advance. So we'll see how that plays out here over the final couple of heats here in the Repechage quarter. Nice crafty move by Akar, took the lead, but then made some contact against Degueterre, and both now kind of knocked off the lead pace. And it's now Lee in front, and Peter Repechage of Great Britain up in a second, and Adamski 3rd. And here's the bell for Lee, and Repechage is attempting an outside pass. He'll get there. Peter Repechage of Great Britain is 1 corner away from moving through to the Repechage semis, and he crosses the line. In that race, most of the duration of the 9 laps was Akar and Degueterre and Lee to a degree, but it winds up being Peter Repechage of Great Britain. But again, this is unofficial. We'll head back to the monitor one more time. So there's the move by Akar. Contact, though, against Degueterre as he came through, and they both then slowed up and allowed the other skaters to go by. And go by Peter Repechage did. No matter if you're at the back of the pack or maybe not the highest, the fastest skater in the race, it's short track, right? I mean, be ready for any moment, and Peter Repechage was. As the battle up front led to some contact and perhaps a penalty. They're going to take a look here. I mean, Repechage at this stage is, 5th? And then right when this incident took place, Repechage got in the middle of it, was able to make a pass, got to 2nd, and then with this little opportunity, he went from 5th to winning the race. And awaiting the official results in this next to last Repechage quarterfinal. You see a little bit more of this, especially when it's kind of winner take all. Yeah, there are some second place time qualifiers that will move through, but you really do want to take matters in your own hand and not have to rely on everybody else in the other races to be slower than you. So the tendency is to be a little bit more aggressive if you're near the front to guarantee that spot in the Repechage semifinals. And the results are in, and Akar is assessed the penalty. So Repechage will win the heat. Li Jinyu finishing 2nd, and Degueterre is advanced. So in the last 2 heats, we've seen 3 advancements due to penalties to the rep semifinals. And what that does is it effectively knocks out just about everybody from the fastest second place times, with one exception, because they're going to take a maximum of 4 as we get a look at the penalty assessed against the car right there. So despite the tie by Omerigic and Jonathan So, neither will advance. Wesley Park finished second in his heat. He won't advance. Nathan Thomas will not advance. And right now, the only fastest second place time that is in line to potentially advance is Li Jinyu from that previous heat, 126.101. So this is the final repechage quarter. 5 skaters, including Peter Yazapati, World Junior bronze medalist a couple of years ago in the 500. His older sister, a 2-time Olympian. Liu Yanpeng, Daniel Bergen from Ukraine, Dominic Andermann from Austria, and Peter Murphy, who's back on the ice, back at 100% after missing a couple of years ago with back surgery, representing Luxembourg. Murphy in the helmet, 129. So this is the last 1,000-meter repechage quarter. So Pedersen, Bosdag, and Deguiter are all going to be advanced via penalty. Yazapati is down, and Liu up front on Peter Murphy. Still Liu Yanpeng. Peter Murphy casing him out in second position. And then Andermann third. 2 laps remain. And a little more on the lead now for Liu. Murphy still second. Down the back straight for Liu. Murphy and Bergen battling for second. There's the pass by Bergen. We'll check his time. Liu will win it. Bergen 128.8, and that is not going to be close to good enough to moving through. So Li Jinyu from the previous heat looks like he's going on to the repechage semifinals as well by time. There's the stretch by Liu. And his day is not over. We'll see him in the repechage semifinals about a half hour or so from now. So the results from the last repechage quarterfinal are up. And there they are. So Liu Yanpeng will join everybody else winning his heat. He's on to the repechage semifinals. And again, 3 to the rep semis via penalty advancements. Frederik Pedersen, Mohamed Bosdag, and Deguiter of Belgium. And again, just 1 qualifier by the fastest second place time. There would have been 4, but 3 advancements by penalty took up 3 of those slots. So the only one by time, Li Jinyu, will come through. So they will open up the pads, bring the Zamboni back out. And when we return, we will come back with the repechage semifinals of the men's and women's 500-meter as we begin to wind down the morning session here in Dresden on our final day. We are back with the repechage semis of the 500 in about 13 minutes' time. You're watching coverage of ISU World Cup Dresden. Stick around. And back to Dresden's Joinex Arena, ready now for the first of two heats of the women's 500-meter repechage semifinals. Only first place will advance back into the main draw in the quarters. And there's a look at the start list. Annabelle Green was impressive in her repechage quarterfinal win. And there's a look at Annabelle, 21-year-old. Talked about her lineage with her parents both being Olympians. Ki Kurakawa from Japan, Yermak from Kazakhstan, Selyakova from Ukraine, and there's Esther Toth from Hungary. So those are the five. Only the winner advances. And it really was the blitz off of the line in the rep quarters for Annabelle Green that earned her the win, and she does the same thing here. Easier position, though, to do it with starting inside position, but now we'll watch Annabelle Green and see if anybody can chase her down. So a strong start by the 21-year-old. Kurakawa sitting second, Toth in third. Again, this is a 4.5 lap race. So still Green steadying herself. Four tightly bunched, a little bit of a wobble there by Toth. And it is Green and Kurakawa. And Kurakawa tries to make the pass. Green takes it right back. They're inside the bell lap. Last corner for Annabelle Green, and she is going to get into the quarterfinals. That's a really impressive first couple of races today by Annabelle Green, unofficially into the quarterfinals, back to the main draw. They will review one incident with about 2 laps left in the race. But the quick start by Annabelle Green made very, very quick. Reads the gun, gets to that max speed in that first corner as fast as she can, and got the stretch on Kurakawa. So an impressive couple of races here this morning by Annabelle Green from Great Britain. You talked about her mom, Eden Donatelli, represented Canada in the Calgary Olympics, won silver in the 500, bronze in the 3,000 relay, gold at the 87 Worlds. And her dad, Olympian as well. And later, Julian, her father, became the coach of the Canadian national team. And there you see the officials are in. And Annabelle Green into the main draw, into the quarterfinals. And we will see her later on this afternoon. So one more repechage semifinal. And again, only the winner advances. We'll see 5 across this race, including Zhang Jiru from China. And Betty Mosk of Germany tries to bring the Dresden fans to their feet and get her in the main draw. Yana Khan, Senya Adamenko, Katarina Buric. Those are the others in this final rep semifinal. And Song is off to the early lead. Yana Khan trails her in the pink helmet in seconds. And Mosk, the German, fighting for third at the moment. So Song Jiru motoring ahead. Yana Khan looks for the inside pass. It's a battle into that corner. Khan will get there. Can she hold it? She will. And the bell will toll for Yana Khan. She's in the lead. Song in second. Only the winner advances. And the last corner, Yana Khan defends. Song makes an attempt. Oh, that's close. That is close. Song scrambling, almost stumbling to the line on the outside. And frankly, I don't know who got there. Yana Khan was protecting the inside potential move, so slowed a bit to make sure that she didn't allow room, and Song went wide into the final couple of strides, and man, that was awfully, awfully close. And we'll take a look at the official numbers after this replay. But that was tight and an excellent effort by Song in and out of that last corner. And we'll take a look at the stretch here. Maybe they'll slow it down a bit. There's Khan in front. And Song in the 99. This is the move right there. And oh, yeah, what great effort by Song. I don't know if she got there, and she barely did not. So Yana Khan by 12 1/1000ths of a second will move in. Just that far away from a berth in the quarter. So Yana Khan from Kazakhstan, just enough to get through. So that's it for the repechage semis for the women. Out of their rep semis for the men. And we'll see 2 semifinal heats. And just like the women, only first place advances back into the main draw in the quarterfinals. So 5 across the line, and they'll be called back. Oh, and this is going to be a nervous moment. False start's going to be called on somebody. Now let's look at the faces and see if we can tell by the reactions on who it may be. And possibly, is it Zaksabayev? Yeah, that looks to be on the replay. I think it's on Merced Vaksabayev. A little smile. He's at the line saying, "Don't send me off." But they may be sending him off. Well, no false start indicated, so Zaksabayev is still out there. And now a couple of skaters go down. Now a third as well out of that first corner. So we'll start him up again. Now Sebastian Lepep, who was in this repechage semifinal only by way of a penalty in the very last repechage quarterfinal heat. And Selye, we will see in the other repechage semifinal. He got in by time. So there you see the issue. Lee Kuhn in the 55 helmet spilling Fashkas. And now Zaksabayev over there talking about, hey, I was really close. I was really close to being DQ out of that false start. But a reprieve, so he still is alive here in this rep semi as they work on Fashkas' blade. See Marcus Howard, Selye coming up in the other repechage semi. So treating the ice. And for Fashkas, yeah, it looks like they're putting on a new blade. So this will be a little bit of a delay as Fashkas is going to change out that right blade. Yeah, the coaching staff doesn't get paid enough, do they? They do everything. Set up the lineups, travel, meals, coaching, all the hours. Set up probably the hotel rooms, and now changing out blades. Power drills. It's a deep job description, right? So skaters try to stay warm. Fashkas will test out that right blade, see how it feels. Feeling the boots. And now Lepep and the gang back to the line again. Well, the right blade for Fashkas is the push-off blade on the starts, and it worked well. And Fashkas does clear the first corner in front. Zaksabayev skidding forward, now slides back into fourth position. Lepep at the back of the pack. Lee Kuhn of China closing in seconds, and then it's Tibors of Hungary in third. And there's Repechage still hanging on to the lead, but we're seeing a lot of guys back and forth. Lee Kuhn slides out of there. It's Repechage hearing the bell. He's still in front. Tibor second. Zaksabayev tries to make the pass for second, but it's going to be Repechage on that brand new right blade, moving back into the main draw. You see the yellow box indicated a video review. There's Repechage testing that brand new blade. And there's the initial attempted pass by Lee Kuhn. Couldn't quite get through on the inside. And that was the contact involving Tibors and Lee Kuhn that kind of knocked him out of contention. So Repechage stretching forward, gets it done, and should be back into the main draw later this afternoon in the men's 500. Repechage, 22 years old. Younger sister represented the Czech Republic in short track as well, so it's in his family's bloodlines. We see a lot of that in the sport. Having a look here. Perhaps a penalty involving Tibors of Hungary. Is that little collision between Tibors and Lee Kuhn of China? And now the results are coming up, and no penalty assessed. Repechage does win the rep semifinal heat, so he's back into the quarterfinals later today. And who will join him? We have one last Repechage semifinal, and there are the five. Selye of Poland, Marcus Howard of the United States, Zhang Kolinch, and Yokoyama. Selye qualified for this rep semifinal by time. Marcus Howard claimed his heats, and Howard is out quickly once again. This is exactly how he took charge earlier this morning. Is an all-out sprint and a hard crash out at Selye, who just went down. So Marcus Howard is now in command. Zhang second, Kolinch third. Well, there is fierce determination by Marcus Howard. Zhang is making a move, final lap. And Marcus Howard down the back straight. Comes around the corner, a battle to the finish, and it will be Howard. He's kind of leaning back to his left, trying to take away a little territory away from Zhang, and good work by Marcus Howard. So that's going to get the Federal Way Washington native back into the quarterfinals in the main draw. And you can tell how much he loves this distance. A lot of success at the junior levels, the 500. I mean, his start is terrific. Good front-end speed. And yeah, that's satisfying. So the quarterfinals will come up in the afternoon session here in Dresden. Marcus Howard's day is not done. Solid performances. Really good performances to watch. Annabelle Green and Marcus Howard. Impressive this morning. So Howard is in. And that'll wrap up the repechage portion of the 500s. And now we'll have the repechage semifinals of the 1,000 for both the women and the men. One semifinal heat on the women's side. We'll see two on the men. And for all of these races, well, at least on the women's side, first place and a maximum of one will also advance. And there's the start list. Gwendolyn Daudet, Zan Busanova, Tsukanova, Volkovitskaya, Song, and Mirai Nakashima of Japan. Those are the six. So away we go on this 9-lap repechage semifinal, the only one for the women. The winner and then a max of one will also move through. Nakashima setting the early pace. Daudette drafting off of her, and then Song Yifei of China in third. Three skaters from Kazakhstan in this race right now. They are 4, 5, and 6 with Voltyvskaya, Tikhanova, and Zanbusanova. But a lot of time remaining in this race to have several of them get right up front and in the mix. And Tikhanova is trying to be the first one to she's trying to like muscle her way through. Couldn't get around Song a couple of times. Now she will try on the inside, and she will succeed. She's up in a second, but one of the skaters' little bump with Tikhanova is bumped off. That's Nakashima. And now the race will be halted, evidently due to the injured skaters. Nakashima went down, and the pads open up very quickly. And we saw an alarming injury a couple of days ago involving Poland's Nikola Mazur on an exchange in the mixed relay. And with only a handful of laps left in that race, they did halt the action because of the dangerous area where the skater went down with the injury. And boy, it's good to see Nakashima actually up on her skates and walking off. Mazur, no update on her condition, but she was not as lucky. She was stretched off with what looked to be a potentially serious left leg injury. But Nakashima is up on her own power, and they will not need the gurney to get her off the ice. Well, that's the right call by Balazs. You commend him for that. Let's take a look left side of your screen. And Nakashima, that's a nasty fall. Left leg extended in an awkward position and then kind of at the mercy of sliding into the pads. And she's feeling around with the left shoulder, left neck area. Now feeling the rights. I'm sure she wants to continue racing, but frankly, I'd be surprised if she does. And there is Balazs checking the replay on that review to see if there might be a penalty assessed on that collision. Well, first and foremost, thankful she's all right. You can hear the ice repair going on in the background with the fire extinguishers. Song Yifei trying to stay loose. So we'll get a restart in this only repechage semifinal for the women. And there's Nakashima. She's still on the ice. And there's Balazs going over to talk with the Japanese coach, probably about the physical status of Nakashima. And that box is still yellow as far as the video review goes. And maybe that's also part of the conversation here. So they're looking at a potential penalty involving one of the skaters from Kazakhstan against Nakashima. She still is kind of feeling around that neck and shoulder area. And we'll see if Nakashima starts back up again or if that potential injury will take her off. Yeah, she's leaving the ice. I mean, anytime you're dealing with an injury, neck, head, shoulder, you just want to be sure that you're all right. And she still is kind of rubbing that neck and shoulder, and she will not restart. There are no penalties assessed. So 5 skaters remain. So we get the restart. 9 laps for a spot in the quarterfinals of the 1,000 later on today. And now we'll see how the strategy for the skaters from Kazakhstan changes. They were all at the back of the pack, 4 through 6 in the first attempt at this race. Now look at them. They're 1, 2, and 4. Volkovitskaya, Zambanosa third, Tikhonova fourth. And now it is Song Yifei for China stroking out to the lead. Daudet second, and then the 3 skaters from Kazakhstan. Halfway through this 1,000-meter. Daudet now in front. And right in line, almost like team pursuit for the skaters from Kazakhstan in third, fourth, and fifth. But still Daudet from France, Song from China. Zanbusanova far off of the pace at the back of the screen for Kazakhstan. So really Tikhonova and Volkovitskaya are the only 2 really in contention here. Here's the bell. 1 lap to go. Still Daudet and then Song behind her. And Daudet around the last corner and nobody really making a move, and it'll be Daudet. So Gwendolyn Daudet will win the Repechage semifinal. You can see these skaters look really gassed. In the first attempt at this Repechage semifinal race, it was stopped with only a couple of laps left. And then a mere, 3 minutes later, 4 minutes later, maybe back at it again for another 1,000. And you can see the pace of the race, I think, suffered as a result because there were no real efforts the last couple of laps. It just looked like everybody was exhausted out there on the ice. But Daudet will win it and move back into the main draw, back into the quarterfinals. Well, that's the good news for Daudet. The better news is she'll have a little bit of a break in between sessions before she's required to get back on the ice. But yeah, they are plenty tired. So there are the results, and Song Yifei also will advance by finishing second in that race. So we will see those 2 later on this afternoon. And now to the first of 2 Repechage semifinals on the men's side. Only the winner, no second place finishers, will be advanced through. So only the winner of each of these heats of the Rep semis will advance. Peter Riches, who came from far behind and benefited from a crash out at the front of his race to win his quarterfinal race. He has inside position here. Li Jinyu, Metahan Atan, Liu Yanpeng, and Mohamed Bozdeg. Those are the 5 in this one. And if you missed the Repechage quarters about a half an hour ago, we saw 3 skaters advance via penalty out of the last couple of quarterfinal races, and that included Bozdeg. And we'll see Pedersen and Degwitzer coming up in the next race. And a couple of skaters go down, and once again, the beneficiary is Peter Riches. So Riches, who is middle of the pack, Atan and Bozdeg, both teammates from Turkey, go down, and Riches is again in front as a result. Liu second, Lee third. And does the 4-leaf clover still exist in the back pocket for Peter Riches? He's trying to get back into the main draw. So Riches in front. Liu now chasing seconds. And coming up on 1 lap to go, Peter Riches of Great Britain still in front. Liu drafting. Riches trying to defend. There's the attempt by Liu on the inside. Riches, though, goes down. Liu hangs in and will get to the line. And that'll be reviewed. Couple of reviews out of this race. Unofficially, at least first across the line, was Liu Yanpeng. Li Jinyu finishing seconds. But we'll focus in on that back straight on the last lap and the last corner that knocked Peter Riches out of the lead and effectively out of the race. So that was the earlier fall involving Atan and Bozdag. And as we move forward, this was the attempted pass, then into the corner, a little stumble. Hand extended a bit by Liu, and Riches flies into the pads. So a couple of reviews in that race. So looking at a couple of potential penalties. One involving a Chinese skater against the two Turkish skaters earlier in the race, and then the other one involving Liu Yanpeng against Peter Riches. The possibility of maybe not giving way. We'll see how it's all resolved here. Nothing official yet. So this is the first incident they're taking a look at. And that's Li Jinyu in 172 making some contact and knocking out the two Turkish skaters. Now this is the last corner. There's the back straight. Liu on the inside coming back in. Knocks off Riches out. And maybe not giving the appropriate way to Peter Riches. They're still having a look. This is head on in the back straight. Riches goes down. Liu crosses the line as a result, unofficially winning the heat, but still two video reviews to be judged. Look at her trying to get a quick shot of herself up on the video screen. Yes. So there's Balashkova explaining the final decisions now that he's had a chance to take a look at the video. More ice repair during this review. And again, only the winner would qualify for the quarters, but you could have certain advancements out of these Repechage semifinals as well back into the main draw. Certainly that's what I think Peter Riches is hoping for. But again, nothing official yet. One more rep semifinal to come, and then we will only have one relay B final in this morning session, generally two, but the men's 5,000 meter B final relay has been canceled because there's only one team that qualified for it, so Kazakhstan won't race against itself. So we will have the B final of the women's 3,000. So there you see there are two penalties, and everybody who finished the race who didn't get penalized will move into the quarterfinals. That includes Bozdag, who was involved in that spill earlier in the race with Atan and Liu Yanpeng. And Peter Riches will also go, and Li Jinyu, so all three. So here's the explanation. Outside in, lane change infraction right there. Charge against Metehan Atan of Turkey. And then this other penalty will be drawn by Liu Yanpeng in the 173 against Riches. So Peter Riches, once again, benefits, and he'll be through into the quarterfinals. So all three who finished that race, we will see them later this afternoon. That'll add to some congestion as far as heat assignments in the quarters, because there still is one more Repechage semifinal to go. And there are the competitors: Caleb Park of the U.S., Niall Tracy of Great Britain. Deguitere was advanced via penalty. Pedersen was advanced via penalty. And Galik Metov. So those are the five. Niall Tracy in the lead. Caleb Park of the U.S. kind of tiptoed around out of that start. Kind of gave up some early ground, but then went for the angle to stay tight on the inside. He's in third now. And that is Adrian Deguitar from Belgium right now setting the pace. Galik Metov fourth, and then a couple of meters back to Pedersen from Norway. Tracy over the line, 5 laps to go in front. Galik Metov, both hands clasped behind his back in second position. Caleb Park in fourth, right behind Deguitar of Belgium. But all 5 with a shot with 3 laps to go. And now the race begins to evolve. Galik Metov swings a little bit wide, looking for the outside pass. Giving up room for Deguitar, and they almost come together. Still Tracy in front. There's the bell. Now the blast by Galik Metov. Tries to get to the corner, bumping Tracy off. Galik Metov stays on his blades. That will be examined, and Galik Metov crosses first. Caleb Park for the U.S. second. Niall Tracy third. Well, the question now is going to be on the little confrontation with about a lap and a half to go involving Tracy and Galik Metov on that pass. So with about a lap and a half to go, this was the move by Galik Metov. And some contact with the right hip of Niall Tracy. Yeah, there you see those two kind of talking it through and awaiting the verdict here. So it could be a situation of maybe shared responsibility. We'll see what the decision is. You take a look. What do you think? Galik Metov in the 32 comes back, entering that corner. Straight on, looks to be a little bit better to determine. Right in here, that's a tight call. Could be shared. We'll see what the decision is. And Galik Metov was barely in front at the time of that contact. And some interested parties from the Kazakhstan coaching staff. There's Frederick Pedersen, Caleb Park, who finished second. And ready for the results, no penalty. And Galik Metov will win it and move on to the quarterfinals. So that would indicate that shared responsibility was the decision made between Tracy and Galik Metov. So Adil Galik Metov will move back into the main draw to the quarterfinals in the men's 1,000. And that will leave us with only one more actual race on this ice before the morning session ends. But before we get to the B final of the women's 3,000 meter relay, they will bring out the Zamboni one more time to ice resurfacing. And we'll come back again only with the women's 3,000 meter B final, because the men's 5,000 meter B final only had one team in it, and I was told a couple of hours ago that they will not race it. So we will take a break, and we'll come back in about 12 minutes time with the B final of the women's 3,000 meter relay. You're watching coverage of ISU World Cup Dresden. We're back in about 12 minutes. Morning session wraps up in Dresden with one more race, the B final of the women's 3,000 meter relay here in Dresden. Glad you're with us. Patrick Ketis winding things down. Afternoon session will come up in about an hour and a half time. 3 teams in this B final on the women's side. It's because in the A final we'll see the U.S., Canada, Netherlands, and Korea. But out of the semifinals yesterday, Japan earned a penalty and was unable to advance with 3 here in the B final. And China, the top-ranked team, but it's a much different-looking Chinese relay team this week than in previous World Cup sessions over the course of the year. So it's Italy, Hungary, and China on the ice in this 27-lap B final. And neither of these 3 delegations have been on a World Cup podium yet this year. Only Italy has earned a medal, taking silver at the Euros a couple of weeks ago. And out there on the opening lap for Italy is Gloria Ioriati. The Italians expected to have basically the same team with the exception of one, where Confortola out there on the ice. Ariana Seagal was in the semifinals yesterday. It looks like Betty will replace her, and Val Sapina continues. Otherwise, Team Hungary, Team China, the exact same 4 skaters from the semis here into the B final. Baksai, Kanya, Samolji, and Zelezina Met for Hungary. Liu, Song, Wang, and Zhang for China. So China out front, Italy second, Hungary third. And again, we'll have a break for midday after this race. No B final on the men's side because only Kazakhstan qualified for it, so they will not have to race against themselves, and we'll get to the midday break a little bit sooner. Zhang Jiming on the ice, about to be exchanged off. China in the lead, Italy and Hungary, 1, 2, 3. Italy, the number 7 ranked team in the world. China, number 5. Hungary just into the top 10 at number 10. And there's Song Jiru for China out there, the 99. Hungary now gets around Italy for second position. So China, Hungary, Italy in that order. 27-lap race, 12 in the books. That's Wang Yi, the outstanding young teen for China, exchanging to Zhang. Baksai in second position for Hungary. And now a little slip-o. Samogi went down and took the Chinese skater with her, so only Italy remains on the lead lap. And what a break for Team Italy. That will be examined, but Italy right now is in front, and Val Sapina racing like it's an exhibition at the moment. So Italy in front, and really nobody near. And the exchange now to Betty. And now Silasade Nemeth trying to pick up some ground here. The exchange to Baksai, because again, anything can happen. Although Italy will probably scale back its pressure for a little bit anyway. But if they have an exchange issue or a fall or something like that, you don't want to give up hope on this race. There's still so much can happen, even when you have this type of lead for Ioriati and the Italians. There's Confortola. Sometimes it's just tough to maintain your focus when you're not being pressed and you don't have to look over your shoulder to see where the competitor is. But so far, so good for the Italians. Val Sapina is still out there. And Italy closing in on almost lapping the Chinese. And it looks like they're about to do so, and China allows that to happen. Good sportsmanship on the ice. Three laps to go, and Bette will make the last exchange for Italy, and there it is. So looks like Ioriati will bring this one home for the Italians. There's the bell. So China and Hungary still 2 laps down, and the final corner, and Italy crosses the line to win the B final. So a subdued reaction. Yeah, it took all the drama and the strategy out of the race when Hungary and China go down. And China up for second, Hungary third. China about 12.5 seconds behind the Italians. And they will review the collision involving Hungary and China that allowed Italy to basically walk this one home. And we'll have a look right there. Yes, Liu Wanyu trailing the action. Simoji in the 110 helmet went down and took Liu down with her, and then it just became an exhibition for the Italians. And to the Italians' credit, no issues. The focus was plenty strong. And the Italians take home the B final in the women's 3,000. Still having a look at the video review on that collision between Simoji and Liu. And they will have a look, and a little technical difficulties on the ice for Balachkova as well. Somebody get him a new 1/4-inch adapter, will you? And here you see the area of the collision again. The exchange wasn't terribly clean, but then they seemed to get through it, and it was right around the corner where Simoji, I mean, here's the exchange, pretty congested in there. Simoji did well to kind of get around, did almost have that corner, and then just didn't quite have the comfort on the blades. And Liu Wanyu knocked out of the race as well. So they've shown the replay up there on the board a couple of times. There is Simoji. And there are the results. No penalty assessed, so the results stand. Italy wins the B final. China second, Hungary third. And that will wrap things up for our coverage here this morning's session. Again, there is no B final of the men's 5,000-meter relay. Ordinarily, there would be. But because 5 are in the A final, and a penalty to Canada in the first semi, then a penalty to the Italians in the second semifinal, Poland was advanced to the A final as a result, and that only left Kazakhstan in the B final. So they will not have to race on their own. That would be boring for all of us. And we'll see 5 in the A final in the afternoon session: the U.S., Japan, Korea, Hungary, and Poland. So for the morning session, that will break things up, and we'll be back on in a little less than 90 minutes for the main session. Well, we were crowned champions in both the men's and women's 3,000 and 5,000 meter relay, the women's and men's 500 meter, and the second running of the 1,000 meter for both the men and women. And do not miss that, because you have all the great competitors, the top 4 men in that 1,000 meter, and you have most of the top women and Suzanne Schulting, who is back again this weekend in the women's 1,000. So they're on their way to the podium later on today. And for now, Patrick Keene is saying thank you for watching. We'll come back in a little bit less than an hour's time with the afternoon championship session on the final day here in Dresden. You're watching coverage of the ISU Short Track World Cup season. The World Cup in Dresden continues in about an hour and a half. Thanks for watching.